for West Texas Wrestling, especially at Squared Circle Pro. But July 19th, that is going to be an event that you will not want to miss under any circumstances, because I am dead set to make that night the biggest night in West Texas wrestling history.
And leading the way, and I mean, beat him down and did so ugly.
Yeah, it did him so bad that, he came home after one BCW outing and was like, Emilio Guzman, that's my man, till today wearing a War Chief shirt. So you saw how messed up.
Emilio, I got love for you, bro, but it's a cool shirt.
You see how messed up that walloping was, but
you don't have to. Please just let me finish the conversation. I don't want to do this. I don't. Just. No! Look at this! This belongs to me! Not you! None of this! Jim, this belongs to me! Me! I earned this! Not you!
We need to talk about that.
Tickle.
That's how the saying goes.
What? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, tickle, tickle. I think, Rick, if be concerned if he ever comes to you talking about tickle, tickle.
Hey,
I don't.
All right.
I'm not sure what's going on there.
At the hour and a half mark, I think we've gotten a little
wheelhouse. So all I can say is Los Crudos better bring everything they've got, because this is going to be a fight.
I'll say I'm pretty sure I've only heard of one Texas death match, and didn't David Arquette almost die?
Did you just talk about
Good
David Arquette?
Lord.
Did you bring David Arquette into a wrestling podcast?
I just said, didn't he almost die?
Stuff.
So you had a B+ on Raw, B- on SmackDown, had a B+ and a B. You want to know what show got an absolute S+ in my opinion?
SCP, that's the one.
That's right. Squared Circle Pro's Tornado Slam. What a show. From start to finish. Damn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We had...
Before we get into it, there's been a little controversy, I'll come to find out, so I'm going to have to address it real quick. Apparently, last week I said some things about our new WWE the United States champion Logan Paul that upset some people. So I'm gonna set the record straight. Logan Paul as a guy, not a fan. As a wrestler, I can honestly say, and I've said it before, he hasn't had a match yet that hasn't been just an absolute banger. So as a wrestler, I've got respect for the guy. I don't understand. He's got all this stuff going on, and I don't understand all these people that just run out and try to support everything he does. And, they try to get their prime drinks all the time. And, oh, that's good.
I'm curious, because I'm like, how are they going to make someone, because all the promos they've done to build him up, I'm like, the way that Sammy's been taking shots for Roman Reigns, the only real shot he's given back is a shot with the chair, and then he just got mollywopped. He's never been the guy who just comes out and messes people up.
What do you get?
And can overpower Roman Reigns. What?
What do you get?
Wally mopped, obviously.
The news we received yesterday of the passing of Terry Funk is one that hits all of us, especially us here in West Texas, really, really hard. Terry Funk was a legend in every sense of the word. He is the reason West Texas wrestling is what it is. A hardcore legend, a legend outside the ring.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Guapo. With me, of course, the man himself, Little Guapo. Son, what's happening?
What's up? What's going on, peeps?
What's happening to everybody sitting out here? We've got Rick, we've got Mikey out there, J-Reb showing up. What's up, Cameron? Man, it's going to be a good show tonight. Because you know what?
Always.
It's almost time for WrestleMania.
Can't contain my excitement.
Well, before we jump into all of this, of course, I want to throw out a few thank yous. I want to say thank you to Ross and the boys from Labor 12 for our intro, outro music. Track's called Head Rush, album's called Monsters. And they got some pretty cool stuff going on. You need to head over to labor12.com. That's laborxii.com. Check out what they got going on. They're shooting music videos. They're doing new music. I mean, they about that
Missing out.
business.
Yeah. Hop on the train before it leaves the station, you know?
Absolutely. And can't go without thanking big thank you to American Legacy for our merchandise. We actually had a chance to put some out on the table. Of course, we've got your Not Your Average Mark hats. We've got Not Your Average Mark beanies. We've got Not Your Average Mark skull caps. And coming very soon, Not Your Average Mark t-shirts for everybody. I mean, it's been a really cool thing to make all that happen. Big thank you to Joseph and everybody at American Legacy for helping us out with that.
Big ups. Appreciate y'all. A1 merch.
Absolutely. There it is,
Oh,
right there.
there we go.
That's your Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast T-shirt. Well, you can't see it because
Sheesh.
it's kind of disappearing, but there it is.
Ah, there we
There it
go.
is.
Yeah.
We will have those available very soon. Compliments
And
of the guy.
Had the hat on too.
All right, so let's get into this crazy week we've had so far. We'll start out with some SmackDown. SmackDown started out pretty good. You had Randy and Kevin Owens versus Pretty Deadly. Go ahead, say it. I know you want to.
Yas, boy.
Overall, good match. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Pretty Deadly, but they put up a good fight.
You're just a hater.
It was a good match. Like, it did a good job putting Pretty Deadly over against, big timers like Randy and KO. And it was good. And of course, you had Logan Paul interfere and clocks KO with the Nux. I hope they're different Nux because I know where the other Nux went. And
I don't want to know how he got him.
if they're the same Nux, like if I'm KO, I'm pissed. I'm just saying.
I mean, even in that case, where did he get him from?
I don't ask questions. Because I might get answers that I don't want.
Yeah, because we know where they were. How did he get them from that position?
So KO gets hit with the Nux. Of course, Pretty Deadly take the advantage, pull off the win. And afterwards, it looked like Randy Orton and KO finna have some words until
It was like Randy Orton was having words. KO was taking a nap.
I hope everybody's sitting down while they're watching this until Randy Orton saw Logan Paul climb back under the ring on the replay on the Tron. What?
Wow,
They can actually see that?
Acknowledged something. That's insane.
So it was a cool little thing they did, which I like the fact that they did do that because what are the big tropes, The refs don't ever see nothing, and the Tron does not,
Yep.
It's not there for the wrestlers. They don't ever see it. So it was cool to see that happen. Randy Orton pulls him out from under the ring, beats the hell out of him, chases him all the way down. And you can tell this is post Kevin Dunn Raw because it was one continuous shot.
Yeah.
Chased him all the way to the back. He made his way into a car, flipped the bird, and ski-daddled.
Was not his car either. Let's make that known. He took somebody's car.
Was that Regal he threw down?
I didn't pay attention. I don't think so.
It kind of looked like him. I thought maybe.
I don't know. I didn't pay that much attention. I just saw him steal the car. So he could be facing charges now, guys. So
it's possible.
Let's
possible.
take that into consideration when we give our predictions.
GTA is more than just a game.
Yeah.
So after that, we get Nick Aldis comes out, and the thing everybody's been waiting for, he introduces Jade Cargill, who gave
a very short and sweet promo. And when I say short, I mean short. Looking over at the chat, Rick says, in the Triple H era, wrestlers are no longer simpletons.
Go.
Now, if the faces could only learn to help out when a face is being triple and quadruple teamed, that would be nice. We're talking to you, Seth and Jay. Just saying.
They're trying. You see what happened this. We'll get to Monday. Don't you worry about that.
Oh, yeah, we will get to that. But it was cool to see Jade Cargill come out, and she told everybody
Banger
to
entrance. What
be
a
on
banger
notice
entrance.
because the storm is here.
Okay, we'll get to that later.
Oh,
Banger
okay.
entrance. Banger entrance. That's all I gotta say right now.
She does have a great entrance. No question about that. We go from that to the Street Profits versus A-Town Down Under. I mean, you kind of knew going into this that A-Town Down Under kind of had this match. But it was cool that they set it up where, Bobby and B-Fab's like, all right, go out, do your thing. We got champagne on ice when you get back. It's going to be a good thing. Go handle business. And it was a good match. Street Profits in control for the majority of the match. And Montez Ford, that dude is absolutely insane. Like, just some of the high-flying stuff he does, the agility that cat's got. I mean, I like watching Montez Ford wrestle.
Had we not gotten all the returns we've gotten, he would be in the United States championship picture right now.
Oh, absolutely, he would.
If over the year we had not gotten all the returns, he would definitely be making a singles run, I think. But
no, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Well, everything's going good. It looks like they're going to take the match, and then bam, up on the screen. You heard me, on the screen. Karrion Kross and Scarlett are given the distraction. They're in there. They drank the Profits' damn champagne.
And that is bullshit.
Who does that? I mean, don't get me wrong. They beat up Bobby Lashley and B-Fab too,
but that's
they
not
drank
the problem.
Champagne.
Yeah, that's not where the issue came into effect.
That's like party foul. I'm just saying. Of course, AOP comes out, lays waste. Theory and Waller end up getting the win, and of course, they're getting ready for the six-pack challenge.
Okay, is it just me, or is this Final Testament and what are they called? What's their actual
Sometimes
name?
they call them the Pride. Sometimes they
Yeah.
just call them Street Profits and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, the Pride or whatever. I just don't have a whole lot of interest in this feud. It's just not doing a lot for me.
I'm kind of there with you. Like, I feel like they could build it into something, but it's like they're way slow burning.
I was about to say they've been building for 2 months now.
It's a little too much slow burn for me.
But I mean, I think it's going to be, obviously now they have the match at Mania and it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a train wreck, but a good train wreck. But as far as the story of their feud, I'm just not entertained, I guess.
Not invested, huh?
Nope.
Well, we have, after that match, we have Santos Escobar come out and, looking over at the chat, and Rick says it's a mid-card feud. It's not going to get front burner focus. No, I agree. It's not. There's not enough meat to it for it to be front burner.
Yeah, no. And, when it's not bloodline related on SmackDown, between that and that whole LWO and Santos and their feud, like those are the main feuds, not bloodline related on SmackDown. And I feel invested in the LWO stuff going on, but this feud not so much.
Well, talking about LWO and Legato's out there. Santos calls old Dom himself out to the ring, and they're talking, and LWO music hits, and here comes the whole group, and you've got all of them lined up face to face, and I'm about it. I'm like, let's go, let's get it on now. So Ray and Santos get to talking, and Ray's like, well, I'll tell you what, Dominic, since you want to get your nose in the business, I say we have a tag team match, and everybody, tell me I'm not the only one who was 100% sure it was going to be Carlito.
Yeah.
Like, for real, I'm like, it's going to be Carlito. But he says, you and Santos versus me and the newest member of the LWO, Dragon Lee. And out comes Dragon Lee, which, you know, if I'm Carlito, I'm thinking, that's not cool.
That's not cool. I guess we'll get into this at Mania stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll get into that.
So the match is set. You know, you've got this tag team match. I am putting it out there now. I'm not even going to wait for the Mania predictions. I'm putting it out there now.
Yeah, Rick already said it. Yeah, Carlito's turning at Mania. No way he doesn't heel turn.
No, absolutely, he's going to heel turn. But yeah, I feel like in this match we finally get some father-son pow-pows.
Yeah,
as are deserved. So it's, you know, Dragon Lee comes out. They all start fighting. Everybody gets thrown out of the ring. LWO stands tall. Here's the problem. Legato's got a match, a tag team match, and not just a tag team match against New Catch. New Catch Republic. The more and more I see them, the more and more I dig them. Like, they are such a good team together.
Yeah, bang.
Absolutely. And so it's a good match. And what I like about this match is both teams have a lot of good chemistry together. Like, you're expecting a complete ass whooping because, you know, Legado just got beat up, but they hung in there, and it was a really, really good match. They put up a hell of a fight. Of course, in the end, New Catch gets the win, and I thought that was great. I feel like Pete Dunne is going to break somebody's hand at some point.
It's crazy that he hasn't. I mean, I'm at this point, the things he does, I feel like at least one person has, you know, might have suffered a dislocated finger or two at the hands of Pete Dunne, or I guess Butch.
What do they say? He's the master of small joint manipulation.
Yeah.
He can keep that. No, thank you.
Yeah. I'd pass on that.
So we go from that into a pretty good segment with AJ Styles. Of course, he comes out and he's like, all right, are we done? You know, I should have thrown your ass in jail, and I didn't, but are we done with the games? Like, I know you're here. Of course,
paranoid.
Nick Aldis said, well, I asked LA Knight not to come here, and that's like, you know, asking the sun not to come up. LA Knight was going to be there, no question. And so he's like, are you back there? Come on out. Or is he could be out here in the crowd. Is it the cameraman? And he slaps the cameraman. And cameraman starts getting out. He's like, what? Are you mad because it's not LA Knight? At least he's better looking than LA Knight, and that's not saying much. Like, it was silly trash talk. And I was mad. I thought it was funny. And, of course, standing there by the table is LA Knight in a WWE shirt and a hat and a wig. And he takes the hat off. He pulls the wig off. And AJ turns around and had his all hail moment. And LA Knight went to whooping the hell out of him. Like, I dug it. Like, they have made this. It's not quite on the level of personal that I think Rhea and Becky are on, but they've definitely done a good job at making this personal between AJ and LA Knight.
Yeah, again, for a I guess upper mid card feud, it's got a lot of steam behind it. No title involved. Like, I mean, it's personal for Rhea and Becky, but it's also easy to get behind because it's a title match. This, I think, they're doing a good job with it because there's no title involved, and there's a lot of steam going into it. It'll be good. Banger match is what it's gonna be.
Oh, I'm waiting for it. I like, you know me, LA Knight all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we borrow from him to close our show, so, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. This will take us into the main event, which is Bianca Belair versus Dakota Kai. What can I say? Before I get into that, I'm looking over at the chat. Mikey saying finger manipulation used to be illegal, and personal issues draw money.
Bingo.
Jared said that.
I mean,
it's true.
Look
I
what
mean,
Jeff Jarrett did with the whole Karen Angle, and they split, and Jeff and Karen actually got married, and I don't know if they're still married. They might not be anymore, but
oh,
they
take it
turned.
back.
Yeah, I was like, they turned Kurt Angle's divorce into a 8-month storyline.
We'll take it back even further than that. Whenever you had Matt, Edge, and Lita, and that whole thing. I mean,
They had no choice with that one. You had to do something. It
yeah,
was so hot.
that was hot as hell. It was
It's
something.
just, that could have propelled Matt Hardy into stardom, but they wanted to punish him. So because Matt was they were so behind him as a babyface at that point because Edge was a piece of shit.
Since we're talking about Matt Hardy, I want to throw this out there just because I saw it today. There's actually a tweet by Rebby saying they're on their way to Philadelphia. Of course, they're doing WrestleCon. I mean, there wasn't
Jeff
anything
has a
said about
concert
WrestleMania. They're doing
on
WrestleCon.
Sunday.
But Matt and Jeff are both going to be in Philly WrestleMania weekend.
What a coincidence, huh?
But let's get back to SmackDown. Of course, Bianca and Dakota. It was a good match. They were aggressive, both of them. Like real aggressive in this match, which was a nice change of pace for me. I like it.
Thank you, Rick.
Oh, I don't think they're debuting. I don't. They're not going to be in a match. But if they give them the opportunity to untie the boots and leave them in the ring, it needs to happen. It needs to happen.
He said, "I know you want it, but it's not happening."
You know what? We'll have a talk about this later, Rick. Of course, you had Dakota Kai playing dirty as usual. I mean, that's the way it goes. Bianca hits the KOD, gets the win, but of course, here comes Damage Control, just beating her down. Naomi comes out, but she caught the beat down too. And then the music hits, right when everybody thought we're fixing to go off air. The music hits, and here comes Jade Cargill.
Okay, pause. Time out.
Pause. Time out.
Why did she change clothes? What was the change in ring attire?
Perhaps the other was uncomfortable for ring attire.
It looked like it was uncomfortable for ring attire. That's why when she came out wearing the red stuff, I was like, that cannot be comfortable to wrestle in.
So she had to put on something she could beat the hell out of Damage Control with, because she took them all out single-handedly. Rick in the chat saying the other attire wasn't going to hold. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
No, it was really cool, though, to see Jade come out and just handle Damage Control. Like, it was ugly. And then, of course, at the end of the match, or at the end of all of the beatdowns and everything, you've got Jade and Bianca and Naomi standing tall in the ring, which leads to another Mania match.
That's going to be a good one.
I dug it. Overall, I'm going to give SmackDown a strong A. For the show before Go Home, I give it a strong A.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I mean, lots of good wrestling, and there was no like filler. It was all furthering storylines, so I can agree with me.
All right, so there we have it. SmackDown is an A, and as you can see, we've upgraded to where the grades are there on the screen now. It's professional. So that's going to take us into Raw.
Disagree with that.
This Mania build has been the best in years. Oh, absolutely.
Cannot disagree.
Like, they have made it so big, and I'm here for it.
Yep.
But we get Raw coming on, and out comes The Rock. And after 17 and 3/4 minutes of coming to the ring, he comes out and talks to people in trash.
Changes every week. He's got there's something new on the Jumbotron every time he comes out.
There is, and it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, every week he's got something different.
But he comes out, he makes his way to the ring, he talks to people's trash. Roman and the Bloodline come out. Roman says, I want to thank my cousin over here for beating down Cody. I didn't need him to do it, but it was a lot of fun to watch him do it. And they're, going back and forth about how the beatdown went. And Seth freaking Rollins music hits, and they're all looking for him. But of course he's coming down in the crowd, because I'm not going to jump in the ring with the Bloodline. Mike making a good point. Amazing what happens when the script doesn't get rewritten hours before the show.
Yep.
I couldn't agree more with that. Well, Seth comes out and he starts talking, which one of y'all got the sack to take me on one-on-one tonight? And they look at each other, and then they both turn and look at Solo, and Solo takes the mic and says, "You're not fighting the tribal chief tonight. And you're not fighting the final boss. You're going to fight the final boss tonight. You're going to fight me tonight." And The Rock throws it out there and says, "Oh, by the way, it's Bloodline rules." Or excuse me, it's Bloodline rules, boy. What is with the boy?
Yeah.
What? I don't get it. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
For
Look
those
at you
that don't
now.
know, for those that can't tell, I am not real thrilled with The Rock right now. With Dwayne, I'm not real happy with him right now.
I think he's doing all right.
I mean, he is doing all right, but he's not the main event, and he needs to calm down. Roman Reigns versus Cody. That's the main event.
Yeah.
And Roman Reigns just been sitting in the background like a little brother going, "He shut up, I'll talk." But he don't ever shut up.
He's the final boss.
No, look. We ain't gonna get started on that again. We ain't gonna do that again.
Yeah,
Rick
that was
asked him, "Did you see how
hilarious.
close that creeper was to Seth with the phone camera?" I did. He's like,
He said,
Seth is giving a promo like this.
"Am I gonna fight The Rock or the Tribal Chief?"
Well, as I said, they set the match. It's going to be Solo and Seth, Bloodline rules. That'll be at the end of the night.
Ooh.
We get the New Day and DIY versus Judgment Day. This was a good match. I mean, it's real fast paced all the way through it. Had a few good spots, but in the end, Priest gets all aggressive and whatnot and gives the Razor's Edge to Ciampa.
I thought Johnny Gargano died.
Right?
I thought he was dead.
I dug this match just because, the putting together of New Day and DIY worked well. Like I would be all right to see more of that.
New Regeneration X.
We're going to talk about that too here shortly. All in all, great match there. We got Sammy versus Bronson Reed 2. Bronson Reed. Of course, Bronson ends up beating Sammy in the last
You
Raw.
can't forget the vignette.
I'm getting to that. Hold your horses.
Oh, all right.
So Bronson Reed beat him at the last Raw because Gunther came out and distracted him. And Chad Gable said, "You've got to approach this differently. And if you want to, then we can talk." So we get this whole Rocky themed segment of Sami Zayn working out, and he's getting coached, and he's like, "I can't do it. I'm scared. Is that what you want?" I mean, he's quoting Rocky 3, and Rick and I were discussing this the other day. Like, he's straight up quoting Rocky 3.
Yeah, I would be surprised to not see Sylvester Stallone at WrestleMania in some
I will
capacity.
say they asked him, and he said he had scheduling conflicts and couldn't be there.
Really?
But they did ask him to be there. But I'm going to say this now. At WrestleMania, if they're going to pull this whole Rocky thing, if Chad Gable doesn't look at Sammy and say, "Get up, you son of a bitch," because Chad Gable loves you. If he doesn't pull the Mickey thing, I'm going to be pissed. Like, if you're going to do it, you got to do it.
Yeah.
But the match itself was good. Sammy showed up and showed out after, doing all his training and everything. Good action in the match. And of course,
I was about to say there was never a bell.
That's true. I didn't hear no
The
bell.
match is still going on. That match is not done.
Of course, Gunther comes out, but this time he's got Chad Gable and just throws him out like he's missing a shoe in the whole nine. He's just laid out. And Sammy runs over there to help, only to catch the beat down of his own, and Gunther just messed them both up. So I've heard rumblings, and you know what? We won't even get it. We'll save that for WrestleMania talk. But there's some rumblings I've heard about this match. We then get Ivy Nile and Maxine Dupree versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. It's a good match for what it was. It wasn't a match, really. But it's all storyline. This one was all storyline. Triple H was sitting down last week and listening to the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling podcast whenever I said the only way this makes any sense is for Maxine to get her revenge, which happened because they won, and she's the one that got the pin. And then, of course, this sets up the heat between Indy and Candice. So this was all storyline, but it was done well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I agree. I think this heel Candice is going to be entertaining, nonetheless.
I think so. I honestly, if you'd have told me a month, 2 months ago that either Indy or Candice is going to turn heel, I would have said it was Indy 100%. I wouldn't have put that on Candice, but she's doing good with it. So I'm digging that. We get to our next match, which is Ricochet versus Ivar. Absolutely 100% match of the night for me.
Yeah, it was Ricochet tossing Ivar.
Yeah,
That
I know.
was insane. That was insane. What can he not do?
And then when he hits the flip to end it and like bounces off of Ivar,
Yeah,
like that was it was insanity. This Ricochet's called the human highlight reel for a reason, and Ivar stayed with him blow for blow. This was match of the night material, no question about it. The spots were good, the timing was good. The big guy even got some moves, high fly moves in. Loved this match.
Yeah, Ricochet. It's to a point now you expect Ricochet to do some crazy high flying. Like that's what he does. Like it's normal at this point, even though it's not normal. But just like the display of strength he showed, it was like that is insane. I mean, this he's perfect. What can you change about him?
Nothing. Not a damn thing. We could make Rick happy and have him come out at Mania as Prince Puma, but other than that,
Yeah.
there's nothing you can change. From that, we go, calm down a little. Well, I say calm down. Becky calls Rhea out to the ring to finish a fight they started in an interview earlier in the day. Like, it was short and sweet. It's my favorite kind. Just straight up. The man's come round to Brooklyn. I'm here for a fight. Rhea, get your ass out here and let's finish this. Done.
Bingo.
So Adam Pearce comes out. We're waiting on Rhea, and that didn't look like Rhea to me. So Adam Pearce comes out and says, no, we're going to save this for Mania. I'm going to need you to leave now. And, of course, don't want to hear that. Here comes Rhea. And she's like, and Adam Pearce is like, no. We're saving it for Mania. And she's like, I'm not saving anything for Mania. We're not going to do that. And she's like, okay. And, of course, runs through everybody, gets to the ring, and they just brawl.
You can't forget the pocket sand. She threw the title out. Pocket sand. And
she did hit the pocket sand. That's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
But these ladies just brawled. Like, it was straight up fight. And it was fight, and it was fight, and it was fight, all the way to the back where Adam Pearce had to tell Dominic, get control of your mommy. Which I laughed at that one because, like, Dom's going to do that.
Yeah. Like anybody's going to.
Looking over at the chat, Mike saying Ricochet is showing that he is developing better than his AEW nemesis Ospreay. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not like, and it's my problem with Japan. It's my problem with AEW. I'm not a spot guy. I like to see a spot or two in a match, but spot matches, I just can't do it. And the reason is I saw the match between Ricochet and Will Ospreay, and nobody's going to match that. Like, if you can't do it like that, don't do it.
Well, I mean, just the match Osprey had with who was it? Just recently that they almost broke their neck like 10 different times. Like,
Was it him and Omega?
no, Takashita, is that who it was?
May have been.
I don't
May have
remember.
been.
I don't remember. It was one of their new, but that match. I mean, I felt like every other move, somebody was at risk of breaking their neck. It was just insane. Like,
Oh yeah.
I just had no interest in watching it. It was the same pay per view that Darby, lacerated himself.
Well, I will say this: Ricochet, when he does the moves, you can tell that he's practiced his craft. Like, he can do it without. He doesn't look like he's going to hurt himself, and he doesn't do, I'm doing this just for the pop and I'm going to hurt myself so everybody cheers kind of moves. Like,
Yeah.
there's meaning to all of his moves, and that's what I like about it. That and, doing all the flips and stuff and landing in the superhero pose, that's kind of cool. Superhero landings are awesome. Rick saying if they want to and could get the rights, Ricochet as Prince Puma versus Santos Escobar as King Cuerno would really make that would be pretty cool. Did you see Ricochet versus Dragon Lee on Speed the other day? Man,
It was crazy. I mean, you lose the I guess that's the point of it, is the whole like storytelling aspect of it. I mean,
because you
you
ain't
don't
got
have
but 3
time to
minutes.
sell anything. Yeah, exactly.
You got 3 minutes to win the match, which
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
it's
no
a cool
match
concept, but
psychology or nothing.
I don't know how I feel about it. It's a cool concept, but I'm not sure how I feel about it.
It's gonna be a lot of spot. It's gonna be a lot of spots. That's all it is.
Well-
Somebody's gonna be the Speed champion.
No, absolutely. We get Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and Tegan Knox going up against Damage Control. Baszler, Stark, and Knox, like, they kept a solid handle on this match for the most of it. And, you like seeing that, because who wants to see Damage Control beat somebody else up? But in the end, they did get the win. They showed out, showing they're ready for Mania. They're getting ready to run Mania. And then, of course, we get to Seth Rollins versus Solo Sikoa in a Bloodline Rules match for the main event. They kept it just the two of them for a long time, which surprised me. Like, I was expecting Bloodline out there early.
I saw a video of Jay like running backstage and then getting thrown out by The Rock, and it was like me talking back to my mom and walking off, and then it showed Jay flying out and The Rock walking out, and it was like my dad, and I was dying. I was laughing so hard.
Well, it was funny because when we were watching that, me and Mama Guapo were watching it because she's a big fan of The Rock, so she was checking it out. And you saw Jay run up there and go behind the thing. I was like, yep, he's coming back. And out he flew. That one, you kind of easy to call that one. Again, though, it was kind of cool that they kept it just the two of them for a lot of the match. They got the tables out. I mean, it was an ugly fight, but in the end, Bloodline does come out. And
Do you not like wince a little bit every time Steph does the like sunset power bomb? Yeah, I wince a little bit. I'm all like, oh man, his knees.
Yep. As a matter of fact, I told Mama Guapo as soon as he did it that time, that's how he blew his knee out against Kane. I mean, let's not do that again right before Mania. But Seth's down in the corner, and he's
Oh wow.
okay. Breaking news from PW Insider. TNA executives are arriving in Philadelphia for talks with WWE about combined creative. That could be cool. I mean, they are under the same, they're kind of under the same umbrella with TKO, but not exactly. So it's interesting to see how that's going to work out. There is some TNA talent that we saw some TNA talent at the Rumble. So it would be kind of cool to see a combined creative. Getting back to the match, though, Seth's in the corner, and The Rock's coming over, and he walks over to him, and as he's leaning over, Seth just starts smiling, and bam, Cody's music hits. Of course, Cody's not supposed to be there, so
Script flip. They pulled the script flip.
they did
trapped him.
impact, and everybody loses their minds. Here comes Cody, because you know what's going to happen. Seth and Cody finna beat down everybody, except that's not what happened.
The double script flip. Double script flip. They got you twice.
It was, I mean, it was crazy to watch the beatdown that was given. And at the very end of Raw, you've got Roman holding up the title. You've got Rock holding up the American Nightmare belt after just whooping the hell out of him. Like, there were some of those
those shots. I heard Seth say some not very nice words.
So,
like you heard Seth hot mic a couple times.
MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, put out a tweet yesterday because his ex-fiance painted a picture of The Rock and Cody from in front of the bus whenever he was all bloody and everything. And The Rock said he's going to have his people reach out. He wants to buy it. And MJF says, so let me get this straight. You steal my shtick with beating Cody down with the lashes with the belt. Then you want to buy something from my ex-fiance. I'm a fan, bro, but calm down. So it's cool to get
I saw him on Practical Jokers, and it was hilarious.
I saw that today.
It was hilarious.
I will say, I handled a chop better than the guy that was on Practical Jokers because he was a squirrel and I was not.
Well, he was supposed to get 5 of them. All right.
Yeah, but he only got the 1. All in all, like, I dug Raw. It was good. There was a little bit of filler to me, so I gave it an A-. But, and I give it an A- also because it's the go home Raw. Like, I feel like there could have been a little more.
I don't know. I feel confident giving it an A, but because I mean everything, Damian looks. There's just so much. The Damian looks super strong. All the tag teams to it were made to look strong. I mean, and then I will agree that the only thing I hate is that this feels more like Cody versus The Rock than it does Cody versus Roman. But
it does. And we're going to talk about that when we talk about WrestleMania, which we just happen to be to right now. Of course, WrestleMania this Saturday and Sunday night. I'm excited. Cannot wait. Going to have some people over. We're going to watch some WrestleMania. Me and Chunk, we're going to watch the Hall of Fame inductions tomorrow. So it's going to be good times. But let's kind of look at predictions.
Roman inducting Paul Heyman. I didn't see that one coming. I mean, I did kind of.
I figured it would be ECW guys, but
wow, Cyraf not paying attention.
I gave it an A-. He gave it an A.
Oh, come on now. It needs to be like cut the minus in half at least. We got to go halfway down the middle.
It's an
What's
A-.
the average of A and A-?
Tucking the kids into bed. Okay. Well, we'll let him take care of tucking the kids into bed, and we'll get started on night 1 of WrestleMania. First match I've got coming up, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. We're going to give our predictions. Of course, you see that Bruss isn't with us, but Bruss giving his predictions to Little Guapo, so we'll have his predictions. And, of course, I want to hear from all of you in the chat who you got winning. We'll let you start it, son. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, Santos Escobar, Dominic Mysterio. What do we got?
We'll keep it simple with Hunter's pick first. I got a simple Santos and Dom win. Basically everything Rick just said is what I was about to say. So you're definitely going to get a Carlito heel turn that's going to cost them the match. And Dom pinning Ray would be that extra chef's kiss.
It would. I don't think we get that. I don't think we get the. I do think we get the win from Dom and Santos, but I don't think Ray gets the pin. I don't think Dom gets to pin Ray. I just can't. I don't know. Maybe it would be a chef's kiss moment, but
What is
Ray's not long for it, man.
Yeah, and what better way to I mean, at WrestleMania, get pinned by your son and have him going into the year with the I pinned my, even more heat than he's already got, talking more trash about his daddy. I think he's not long for it. That what better way to if this could be his last Mania, I think that's a good way to go out.
Ray signed a 5-year deal after last WrestleMania. Oh well, see, there is that. Yeah, you know what? I'll go with it. I'll say Santos and Dominic with the win. Of course, we get the Carlito heel turn that causes it, and Dom puts his daddy on the mat after Pow Pows.
That's what. Yeah, there will be lots of those.
All right, so that's what we've got for our first match. Our second match: Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill versus Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane of Damage Control. What do you got?
Hunter said that Bianca, Naomi, and Jade. I think this is probably the most obvious one. Jade's not losing her debut. Bianca is undefeated at WrestleMania. They're not getting rid of that. It's very apparent, but I think it'll be a good match.
We're kind of on the same page with that, and I feel like that is the meat and potatoes of it. Is Bianca's going to go 4-0. Naomi's going to get her first WrestleMania win since what, 22?
Yeah.
And then Jade is not going to lose her first match in the WWE. And what a way to come in! Your first real match in the WWE is at WrestleMania. I mean,
Yep.
And I agree with Rick. Rick says the same thing, and I agree that Cargill gets the pin. We've got Gohan 1171 saying Cody's going to finish the story. Calm down, Gohan. We're not there yet. All right. After that, we've got our 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. You've got Judgment Day with Damian Priest and Finn Balor, who are our champs, versus Awesome Truth, The Miz and R-Truth, versus DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, versus
Almost
the New
Ciampa.
Day. I call him what I want to call him. New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate versus A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller. Now, before we get into who's going to win that,
This is how they split the titles.
that is exactly where I was going to with this. This is where they split the titles because it's been made official that the match goes on until both sets of titles have been pulled down. So one team could get both sets of titles, keep them unified, but the more likely thing is they're going to the more likely thing is they're going to separate them there. And yes, Guapo is a ring announcer. Thank you for that. Woo. So
get out the ring faster.
Yes, I do have to get out of the ring faster. I'm going to work on that.
You're gonna get hurt.
Before I give what I think is going to happen, I'm going to give what I would like to see happen. So the first people to pull straps down is DIY. DIY pulls straps down. And the match goes on for a little bit, and Awesome Truth pulls straps down. And we get our Regeneration X moment right then. That's what I'd like to see happen. Like, we need our Regeneration X moment. What I actually think is going to happen, I think we get Awesome Truth and probably New Catch.
I agree with the consensus that it's probably going to be A-Town Down Under, but I do think Awesome Truth is they should be the work that our Truth has put in recently, he deserves it. I mean, it's a good payoff. There's already a story there. I mean, he's got a story with, they could do something with the Judgment Day still, they could do something with the Regeneration X, there's lots of ways to go. But
There's a lot of things they could do there. That now there's a rumor floating around, and I don't think it's going to
you
be
say
right.
the Hardys.
No. There's a rumor going around that they were going to pull A-Town Down Under. Like the first time I read it, I didn't even get all the way through it because it said, according to Dave Meltzer, and I stopped paying attention. Because to hell with Dave Meltzer. But I heard it reported several other times, but never confirmed that they were going to pull A-Town down out of the tournament. So it makes you stop and think, okay, well, who would they put in their place? What is it? Motor City Machine Guns. I've heard that a couple of times. I heard the Dudleys. I've heard the Hardys. I've heard that Dom and JD McDonough take the spots. I mean,
Dom's already got a match. Dom won't be in it.
Awesome Truth are going to do the Dudley spot with the What's Up in the tables. If they don't, I will cry because that would be awesome.
I don't think anybody ever did it better than Kane.
That's fair. That's fair. But I mean, like, I'm just seeing that play in my head right now. Can you not see R-Truth holding somebody going, what? Like, I can
For
see
sure.
it. It's going to be great.
I'll say Hunter, he didn't say that the titles were going to be split, but he did say either Awesome Truth or A-Town Down Under. So
Okay. Then we get to our next match. Brother versus brother. Uso versus Uso. Jay Uso versus Jimmy Uso. What do you got?
Jay has been put through entirely too much by Jimmy to not win this match. But I thought the same thing with the Hardys. And Matt won the match at WrestleMania for some reason. So, but I'm going to go with Jay. I think Jay wins this. Hunter also said Jay. But there's the trickery sometimes.
I am also going to go with Jay Uso. I still feel like the surprise we're going to get is Rikishi as special guest referee. All right, Rick, brother, you know I love you. Let the Tamatanga thing go. It's not going to happen yet. I know you want it to happen, but it's not going to happen.
I just want to say you've been saying Rikishi's going to get involved for like 2 years now, all right?
We've only been doing the podcast for one. Calm down, killer. I do think Rikishi is like he gets announced as the surprise special guest ref. I think we get the match. I think, he goes to one side of the ring and, Jimmy's trying to get out and he pulls Jimmy back in, gives him a hug. He goes and grabs Jay. They mysteriously find themselves lined up in the middle of the ring. The lights go down, the music hits, we get the dance, the crowd pops, goes absolutely crazy. Jimmy dances around in front and does his little thing, goes back in his spot. Jay comes around to do his thing. Jimmy kicks him in the mouth, looks at Rikishi, rolls out of the ring. That's what happens in that match.
All right.
Jacob Fatu and Lance Anoa'i. I could see that. I mean, I don't think we see it at Mania. And I'll tell you why. Like, this is kind of jumping ahead in everything, but I think Roman loses the belt. And I think he goes away for a little while. And I think we use Jacob Fatu and Lance Anoa'i and maybe even Zilla and Tamatanga. And we use all of them. And that's how we keep the bloodline story going without Roman being there. So I think that's an after that's going to be an after Mania thing.
He's holding on to hope. Just like you and your elders. There's hope.
You wait and watch. The wrestling gods have spoken to me, and they have said. So we've got the after that we've got the IC championship, Gunther versus Sami Zayn. Something rocky. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to see
I just
Sami
said
Zayn.
Sammy.
I want to see Sami Zayn run up the steps. Like, I want to see him. I want to see him come to the ring in gray sweats. Like, we're gonna do the whole. If he wins and doesn't say Adrian, I'm pissed.
I think Gunther retains, and I think we could maybe possibly get a Gable heel turn, which I think would be really cool, but probably not. But that's something I'm holding out hope for.
Well, see, I've heard that. And I too. I'm down for Gunther retaining. And what does Bruss say?
He said Sammy wins.
Bruss has Sammy. Okay. I have heard that we may get the Chad Gable heel turn, but I've also heard that we may get the because of the actions that happened on Raw, this is now a triple threat. So I mean, it's a possibility. I don't really see it going that way, but I could see it.
I just think I don't see Sammy being the one to beat. I mean, if it becomes a triple threat, I still maybe think Gunther retains. But if you do like a heel turn, everybody still kind of looks. Gunther doesn't look any weaker. Sammy, he's not hurt by it because he didn't lose the match completely. If he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies. I love it. I love it.
I think
So-
Gunther retains.
I do too. I think Gunther retains, but I think this
Hope
is the
that-
match. This is the match where we're going to get all the Rocky and Philadelphia and this is where we're going to get that. If we don't get some sort of vignette with him running the stairs to the statue, it's got to happen.
It's
It's
yeah,
gotta
it's done for. The match means nothing.
So we go from that into Becky versus Rhea.
I don't see Rhea losing anytime soon.
I'm kind of with you on that, but are we seeing the implosion of the Judgment Day with this? Because we're already seeing Dom's kind of doing his own thing, and everybody's like, "Why didn't you talk to us first?" and all of that. Are we going to start seeing things happen? I.e., Judgment Day loses the belts. Maybe Rhea loses the belt. Damian cashes in and loses. Do we start seeing them fall apart?
Maybe. I mean, that's an avenue you can go for sure, but I just don't see that. I mean, I do see the bloodline, or not the bloodline, the Judgment Day like falling apart. I could see that. I mean, the writing's on the wall, but we also thought the writing was on the wall like around this time last year too, and it wasn't.
Fair.
So,
That's fair.
but I think Rhea retains. I don't see Rhea losing, even if the Judgment Day fails. I think Rhea is fine without the Judgment Day.
So at this point, if Rhea retains, where do you go with Becky?
That
Do
is
you wait Do you wait the 3 or 4 months we still have for Charlotte to come back? Do you send her after the other belt? I mean, what do you do with Becky?
I definitely think Becky. Well, yeah, Becky versus
Becky
Liv.
versus
Becky's to a point in her career. She doesn't have to be going for a title for it to mean something.
Now, I'm glad that Rick said Becky versus Liv, because the way they've been doing things and showing things, I feel like maybe we get a Liv Morgan interference or a Nia Jax interference.
I bet it's a clean match. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this one would be
Rick saying it's
Yeah.
time for Becky to make some people. Agreed. I can see that. I mean, she has to this point helped. I won't say she's made anybody, but she's definitely helped out.
Yeah.
Um,
Like I said, I think Rhea retains. It's
I'm
going to
going to
be
go
a
ahead and
good
say
match.
the same. Rhea retains.
Hunter also said Rhea retains.
That brings us to the main event of night one. The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Now, there is so much conjecture here about what could happen. Is The Rock going to turn on Roman? Is Seth going to turn on Cody? Could Roman turn on The Rock? Could Cody turn on all of them? Like, there's so much going on with this.
I think the most like plausible thing, most possible, I guess, would be that Seth turns on Cody, but I don't really see it happening. I think they lose not fair and square, but they lose obviously via nefarious tactics. But yeah, I think Rock pins Cody to set up a feud for them later on down the road whenever he's done with his movie.
Well, see, and I want to go with that. I want to say The Rock, the Rock gets a pin, or the Rock causes a win. I don't think The Rock gets a pin because I just don't see it. I just don't see The Rock getting the pin because the story going forward is not going to be Rock and Cody. It's going to be Rock and Roman. And WrestleMania 41, the main event of WrestleMania 41 is going to be Rock and Roman. Where it was supposed to be last year and it didn't happen. It was going to be this year and they storylined it. Next year is going to be Rock versus Roman. So coming out of this, the feud is going to be Rock and Roman. I don't see The Rock doing anything with Cody.
Yeah, but you got a whole 12 months between Mania and Mania. I mean, you don't have to push Cody and I think, you know,
Yeah, but
like
you've
come
got
like
12 months from here
October.
to there, but 6 of those months he's doing a movie.
I read a report that he's only gone for 3, but so he could possibly be back maybe SummerSlam. But if not the PLE after SummerSlam, do a Cody and Rock.
But does he
Yeah.
though? Rick saying he's staying heel and he will end up facing Cody. Roman will be taking a break, and when he returns, they can go at it. Rock needs to build heat, but does he? Like, does he need to stay involved?
I mean, how do you I don't know. I don't see. So if Roman's staying at home, are you saying The Rock needs to stay at home too until
I
Roman
say they're
comes
both
back?
going to be gone for 3 months or 4 months or however long Rock's gone doing the movie thing. Roman's going to be gone that long as well. Because why would you put Rock against Cody? You're not going to put a belt on The Rock. And if Cody's got the belt and you put The Rock against Cody, knowing you're not going to put a belt on The Rock, then you know he's not going to beat Cody.
I don't know. I know the Rock has two. We have 2 years of The Rock via his TKO obligations. What that entails, I don't know. So could we see a Rock championship run? You know, a couple months, a month or two. You know, maybe.
We'll just have to see, Rick. I'm not.
I agree with you, Rick. I think that, like I said, maybe if not, if he's not done with his movie by SummerSlam, maybe the PLE after. But I mean, so we're just gonna have uh, Rock and Roman yelling at each other for 9 months when they come back after their 3 month break.
No, they can actually go at each other. Like, it's the bloodline
But you said it's the
storyline
main
is the
event. You said that's
storyline.
gonna be yeah. But you said that's gonna be the Mania thing. So we're gonna have till next Mania. We're gonna have Rock and Roman at each other for 9 months.
We're going to have The Rock and his group and Roman and his group against each other for 9 months, most likely, yeah. But again, if you put The Rock against Cody, you know The Rock's not going to win. They're not. That's like bringing Stone Cold back and saying they're going to put the belt on Stone Cold. No, they're not. They're not going to put the belt on The Rock. So you know Cody's going to beat him, and that's not good storyline.
Yeah, I mean, again, and what maybe there's so much like we're getting Rock and Cody. Maybe by SummerSlam or something. Maybe The Rock makes a return and costs Cody the championship or something. Like
A run in, okay,
it-
I'm good with that.
whether he has the title or not, we're going to get Cody and Rock before we get Roman and Rock.
Yeah,
I mean,
Roman and
look
Rock,
at
like
they've
I said,
been.
that's going to be Mania.
Yeah, I was gonna say, obviously we're gonna get Roman and Rock, but look at all the building they've been doing with Cody and Rock. We're not gonna not get a singles match between them.
There are a lot of scenarios we could go, and it's going to be interesting to see how it does go. Like I'm interested to see, but I do think that while there's a lot of disagreement on how things end up after Mania, I think we all agree that by whatever nefarious means it happens, that The Rock and Roman Reigns are winning this match because it's going to be bloodline rules for the main event on Sunday night.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, well, never mind. We'll get to that. Hunter also said Rock and Roman, so
Okay. That takes care of night one. Let's jump into night two. We've got about I don't know, 25 minutes to do it. Night two, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, aka The Pride, versus the Final Testament, that being Karrion Kross, the Authors of Pain. I think it's gonna be a fight. It's just gonna be a brawl.
Yeah.
Big
it's
dudes
gonna be
beating
a
up
train
big
wreck.
dude.
I'm telling you, yeah. Meaty men slapping man meat.
That's what it's gonna
what
be.
Big
And
B
being a
says.
street fight,
Yeah.
I kind of go with Rick on this one. I see the Pride taking this one over Final Testament. Not your average Mark shirt.
Get the merch. Oh shit! I pointed the wrong way. There we go. All right.
I do see the Pride taking this one, and it's setting up things for the future.
Sorry, I was reading something my wife said.
Ah.
I do think I kind of agree with Mike. I think if you're doing this whole Final Testament thing, they need, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits are pretty solidified. They're going to be all right if they take this L. If the Final Testament takes this L, like they're already kind of on shaky water, I think, to me personally. So I think they need this win. But I also thought, LA Knight needed a big win 10 different times last year, and here we are. So
So what do you have? You've got the
I'm gonna say the Final Testament. I'll be
Okay.
different. I think they need it. So
and what did the boy have?
he said the Street Profits and Bobby.
Okay. Well, it'll be interesting to see where that one goes. And it's nice that you bring up LA Knight. Yeah, because that's the match we talk about next. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. This is going to
the
be
big
a
win he's
banger of
getting.
a match.
This is the big win he's getting. It does nothing for AJ at this point. It's going to be an awesome match, and LA Knight's going to win.
So I've heard some rumors about this one, and I'm interested to see how they go with it. I've heard the rumor that LA Knight's. I too think LA Knight is going to win this one. No question there. This is his big win. But I've heard that LA Knight's getting his fight in. He's fixing to win. Out comes the OC and stands there and watches just like this and watches him pin AJ.
Yeah, I think AJ was at his best in TNA when he was doing his like lone wolf character, and I think that's kind of what we're getting the WWE iteration of that kind of.
Well, and if the OC comes out and does that, I really don't think that's going to happen. That's just one of the rumors I heard. If they do come out and do that, though, it does kind of solidify the, like you said, the OC meltdown, and it just kind of pushes that gap wider.
Yeah.
So I could see it. But yeah, absolutely, LA Knight takes this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hunter also said LA Knight.
That takes us into the United States Championship triple threat: Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. As long as Logan Paul gets his ass whipped, I don't care.
Yeah, Logan Paul is winning this match by nefarious tactics or whatever, but he's literally the poster boy for SummerSlam. It's in Cleveland. I mean, Logan is going to be all over every promotional material for SummerSlam as the United States champion.
As much as I don't want to, I've got to say the same. Logan Paul retains through not quite legal methodology. I think it's going to be a beatdown. I think it's going to be a hell of a fight.
I mean, my thing is you've already seen Randy and KO not intentionally go at each other, but kind of go at each other. And something's going to happen that they're obviously going to go at each other for reals. And Logan will capitalize somehow, some way, and walk out of there with a W.
The question is, do we get the KSI interference?
I think we're going to get a crazy like RKO spot, though. I do think they will work a
Oh, yeah.
crazy ass RKO spot into it.
That's like having the Kofi spot at, well, it used to be like having the Kofi spot at Rumble. You've got to have the RKO spot at Mania.
Yeah, well, I just think with Logan, you have the ability to do something crazy, you know.
Rick also saying that Logan Paul retains. Is that what Bruss had as well? So it seems to be pretty much all the way around. Logan Paul retains. That takes us into our WWE Women's Championship. Io Sky versus Bayley. I got Bayley in this one. I think Bayley does the Bayley versus everyone thing, and I think she gets the win. I think Damage Control tries to come in and do something, and I think Bianca and Naomi and Jade take care of that. Like I think she gets Bayley gets the respect back from Bianca.
You want to see Bruss's answer?
What is Bruss's answer?
It is the third from the bottom.
Bayley wins. He's not wrong. Just gonna say he's not wrong. But I'm with Rick. I want to see when Bayley comes out. I want to see her come out with the side knot and the Bayley buddies and just that. Oh, I want to see her come out like I want Bayley buddies from the Tron down to the ring. Like I want it to be big. Rick says 100 Bayley buddies on the stage. Make it so.
I was going to say, WrestleMania entrances are always so cool. The only thing I'm not looking forward to is we're going to have I hope The Rock and Roman come to the ring together. Because if they don't, we're in trouble. We got 25 minutes of entrance if they don't come to the ring together.
And that's just Rock. Wait till Roman shows up.
Yeah.
That's why there's less matches in night 2 because, we got an hour and a half of fucking intros.
Bingo.
So I got Bayley. You got Bayley. He's got Bayley. Giant Bayley buddies on the 4 corners of the ring trestle. I'm down, man. Make it happen. Like I want that to be a thing. I'm gonna be really happy if Bayley brings that back. So that brings us to the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth freaking Rollins versus DM Hunk.
I think DM Hunk wins the World Heavyweight Championship via a snap of the final boss's fingers.
Really?
I think so. I think Rock makes true on his promise to Seth that if you don't stay out of our business, I'll take your title like that.
See, and I see it going kind of differently because a reminder to those that may not have been watching, not this past Raw, but the Raw before, CM Punk at the commentary because he is the best in that ring, on the mic, and at commentary. So I think we get some distraction. Drew gets some distraction from CM Punk, and I think it ends up costing him the match. And I think that Seth retains.
Oh wow, that's a swerve. I definitely did not see you saying that.
Rick saying Priest cashes in early, wrestles most of the match, doesn't get the win. Drew gets the win, and that even further into the spiraling of the Judgment Day.
I just, I, I do not understand why. I mean, Edge set the blueprint for how to cash in when they are a bloody, battered mess in the middle of the ring. Why cash in early? Cash in when they're at their lowest. I get, obviously sometimes it hasn't worked, but I just don't understand cashing in, as a heel. I guess, the typical, John Cena, I'm cashing in on this day, or RVD, I'm cashing in at one night stand, the babyface stuff. But as a heel, let Drew hold his title up. I won. That's
We'll just
fair.
have to see how that one goes. 'Cause
I
maybe
could
there's something
see
to prove.
a cash in not happening, but I'd be excited if it does happen. But I could see us going a Mania without the cash in.
So I've got Seth, you've got Drew, Rick's got Drew,
Hunter has Drew.
Hunter has Drew. All right. That takes us to the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Should I give him the Scooby-Doo ending?
I think, yeah, you give him your Scooby Doo ending.
All right,
I
so
don't
I'm
think
gonna
this is even like remotely possible, but
No, this is not at all possible. Understand that when I say this. I'm saying this because of all the internet rumors that are going on. I decided to use one to make a Scooby-Doo ending. I've already told you I think that the bloodline gets involved and they get taken out by Jay takes out Jimmy, Seth takes out Solo, Stone Cold comes out and takes out The Rock, and I think we finally get to that moment where it's
we're just gonna
just
skip right
Roman.
over that. Stone Cold comes out. We're just skipping right over that part.
I just said Stone Cold comes out and takes out The Rock.
Yeah, just so nonchalant. Stone Cold just comes out and just
Well,
beats up The Rock.
We'll get to that in a minute. But Stone Cold comes out, beats the hell out of The Rock, sends him off to do his movie, and you finally get that moment where it's Cody and Roman, the only ones in the ring. And then a familiar music hits. And out from the stage walks Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Cody doesn't know what to think. He turns around. Roman hits the spear. The whole storyline becomes, I cost you your entire story. That's the Scooby-Doo ending.
Would it be cool? Yes. Is it gonna happen?
No.
Nah.
MJF still under contract with AEW. It's not going to happen.
I don't care what anybody says. Oh, they took him off the internal roster. MJF is an AEW superstar.
And if for some reason he's not, if
Tony Khan
lets
deserves
him
to go
walk,
bankrupt.
yes, absolutely.
AEW deserves to go bankrupt after that.
But yeah, that was the Scooby-Doo ending. Now let's get to the real meat and potatoes of this. This is going to be a bloodline rules match. I think we've established that from what happens in the main event of night one. So the bloodline is going to be involved.
I'm just curious how that is the bloodline rules just a street fight?
Anything goes.
Yeah, I mean, I want to actually see The Rock come out and do commentary or something, or solo ring announce. That'd be awesome. Bloodline rules, the tribal chief Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Well, it had to be Jimmy. Jimmy ring announcing would be hilarious.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That'd be almost as good as our truth on commentary.
Yeah.
Go commercial. Go commercial.
Yeah. I'm not fighting. I'm on commentary.
Of course, you're going to get the bloodline interference. And just to play it out the way I see it going, you're going to get, I think we get one at a time. I think Jimmy comes out to help and Jay comes out, levels Jimmy. They fight off into the crowd. I think Solo jumps in, and I think Solo comes in and he gets out there, and Seth takes him out, and then it comes down to The Rock. And this is what I see: The Rock has Cody on the ground. He pulls off the Mama Rhodes belt because he made promises, and he's going to get ready to swing, and the glass is going to break, and the crowd's going to go insane. Stone Cold's going to come out, whoop the hell out of The Rock, and then you have Cody and Roman 1-on-1. And from that, I think Cody takes the win.
Yeah, Cody finishes story. Hunter also said Cody finishes the story. I have to finish the story.
Got to give the shout out to Mikey about the as long as he gets to wear the blazer. See, that is.
Do you think CM Punk comes out wearing a blazer?
I hope he comes out wearing Triple H's blazer.
Yeah.
That will forever be one of my favorite Raw moments ever.
Ever. I still occasionally, at least 2 or 3 times a year, go back and watch a whole 20-minute segment. It's 27 minutes.
It is 27 minutes, and there's a whole commentary table over there full of microphones and headsets and pipe bombs, and you can say whatever you want. You want me to do commentary? I want you to do commentary. Can I wear your blazer? You can even wear my blazer. I'm in. That is my favorite.
Oh, man. Dude, all right, now that we're kind of gearing away from Mania, did you listen to the CM Punk Ariel Helwani interview? Did you listen to the whole thing?
I did, and he made Tony Khan look like a clown.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he made everybody over there look like a clown. Not everybody, but pretty much everybody involved with the politics look like a clown.
So let me ask you this. After hearing that, did you hear Edge's somewhat response on AEW?
Yeah, just saying that. So we're here. This is where the best matches take place, or the best wrestler. I don't know.
This is where the best wrestle.
Yeah.
Why didn't Tony Khan come out and say all that? Why is Cope saying all of that?
Because Tony Khan is I don't know, spineless. I don't know. It's just crazy how rampant that locker room runs with him. Vince McMahon would never. I mean, Redacted would never.
All right, so we got about 7 minutes left. So thinking about rumors, things that happen and all that, because you know what? Yes, Mike, absolutely. And I don't care if you're talking about Cope or Tony Khan or any of them over there. Yes, that's the right answer. So I'm going to do a kind of a lightning round of rumors, and you can just yes or no them. You ready?
All right.
MJF shows up at Mania.
Big no.
Hardys show up at Mania.
Probably not.
Dudleys show up at Mania.
Possibly. Especially with TNA being with the big report of TNA. Possibly. I could maybe see that.
Rikishi involved in the boys match.
I think it's 60-40 no.
Rick says, not going to happen. You know what? I'll let you have your dreams. I'll let you hold on to what you want to hold on. Don't be calm, sir. Calm.
I'm really close to 50-50, but I'm going to say 60-40 no.
60-40 no on Quiche?
Yeah.
What were some of the others? Some of the other ones I've heard are just ridiculous. I've heard one says Shane McMahon comes back. Not to wrestle, to announce.
We're not going to see a McMahon on TV for years.
I 100% agree. We will not see a McMahon. Triple H is the closest we're going to come to a McMahon.
Even though from everything I've heard, Shane is the one that's good, innocent of all of this. But
I've got a big no on this one myself. But another one is that since everything was dropped against him, Brock Lesnar comes back.
Oh, I did see that one. I definitely think no, but I do think we eventually get Brock Lesnar back.
I do too.
But
I don't
do
think
not
it's at
think it's
Mania.
Mania. No,
I don't even know if it's
not Logan
before
night.
Rumble.
Yeah, no.
I'd
Logan
rather
night.
have Logan Knight than Shane. And that's saying something for Mike to say he'd rather have Logan Knight.
Yeah.
So, all in all, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a great weekend, but we have hit that 9:25 mark. So, that takes it over to you, son. Final thoughts for this show, for everybody listening, everybody watching, WrestleMania weekend. What you got?
It's gonna be insane. Rick said it earlier. Best build to Mania in years. Um, the storylines. I mean, we spent 8 minutes, talking about the different ways we could go with just Rock and Cody. Like, I mean, you still got Rock and Roman. There's so many different ways a lot of these stories could go, and that's what makes it so interesting. I mean, it's so exciting. Mania weekend is like Christmas in April.
It is. It
So,
absolutely is.
yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to talk about what happens at Mania.
Well, for me, it's exciting to be a fan of WWE wrestling right now. So it's exciting to be a wrestling fan in general. But for the WWE, for what we've been talking about, I'm excited in a way I haven't been since early in the Attitude Era, because we're at a point where, just like you're talking about, that we have this one match and it could go this way and this is plausible. It could go this way and this is plausible. It could go this way and this is plausible. Whereas before we didn't have that.
I think
And
Rick's answer is the most plausible.
Roman wins. Heyman issues a challenge. Hogan returns, drops a leg, wins the title on Tuesday in Texas. Yeah, I'll throw a Tuesday night in Texas out there. But it really is great for somebody that understands kind of how it works, and somebody who understands a little bit about the booking because he talks to people who do the booking. It's exciting for me to not know exactly what's going to happen. Not to be able to just call it. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait to do it. Of course, just throwing it out there. Coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend, your boy going to be in Guthrie, Oklahoma for
Guthrie.
BCW. So that's going to be a new experience. I'm looking forward to that. So if you're in the Guthrie, Oklahoma area and you have not gotten your tickets for that yet, make sure you pick your tickets up and come say hi to your boy.
Yeah, boy.
Rick saying this is honestly the most anything could happen Mania in a long time. It is, and I love it. It's exactly what I love about it, is that it's an anything could happen kind of thing, except apparently for the Hardy Boys showing up.
Yeah, no.
Tama Tonga's not showing up either.
I can just imagine the plate of macaroni flying when Tama Tonga jumps out the crowd.
Oh, see, I'm not even going to eat macaroni that day. I'm not going to do it.
Just Chunk just goes flying.
Chunk, get him.
Yeah. Ah.
No, I'm excited. And of course, I want to say thanks to everybody that's watching, everybody that's listening, everybody that's been in the chat. You guys are the reason we do this. We love you. We appreciate you being here every time. I think that about does it for us tonight. We're going to be back next Thursday to talk about everything that happened in Mania. And just
Literally,
understand,
Friday to Monday is all wrestling.
yeah, we got a lot to talk about next Thursday. Just understand that if the Hardy Boys show up at Mania, y'all ain't even going to want to deal. I'm going to be a whole ass problem on Thursday. Just understand
that. My thing is, I just think Jeff is still under contract, so I don't think it's possible. But
I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But
yeah.
Until then, WrestleMania party at Guapo's. There is a WrestleMania party at Guapo's house. Got some people coming over, going to watch the show. J-Reb needs to bring his ass to Lubbock. Come watch it.
Yes, boy.
You had to. At least it wasn't Tiffy time,
It's Timmy time.
Well, I hope everybody enjoys WrestleMania weekend. Watch it wherever you can watch it, and then join us right back here next Thursday night as we talk all about it. Until then, I am Guapo. That's Little Guapo. The guy behind the curtain is the guy, and we are not your average marks. We'll see y'all next time. Yeah.
Yaspo.